Another important thing about the prokaryotic cell are the regions, the basic regions of the eukaryotic cell. So there are three basic regions of the prokaryotic cell. The first region is the pili and flagella. Pili and the flagellum. Pili and the flagella, that is the first region. Then another region is the cell envelope. Then finally, the final region is the cytoplasmic region. So, but the cell envelope is a bit complex because it has three components. It has the capsule, which is the outermost covering. The outermost, that is the capsule. Then it also has, the envelope also has the cell wall, which is the next layer here. The cell wall. Then finally, we have also the cell membrane. The cell membrane. These three comprise of the cell envelope. So those are the basic regions. So the pili and the flagellum. So the flagellum is that locomotory structure that protrudes. That locomotory structure. Then in prokaryotes, it is made by a protein called flagellin. That is the protein that is used to synthesize the flagella. Then we also have the pili, those structures that can be used for sexual reproduction by the prokaryotes, and can also be used for adherence onto surfaces by the prokaryotes. So prokaryotes are able to adhere to certain surfaces with the aid of the pili or the membrane. Then cytoplasmic region is their cytoplasm, that fluid inside there, where the cell organelles are suspended, that cytoplasm. So, like we gave the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, this region in prokaryotes has limited cell organelles as compared to the eukaryotic cell. So, but the cell envelope in general will help prevents the entry. It protects the cell envelope. We can summarize it by saying it protects the interior of the cell, protects the inner contents of the cell. But the cell envelope, but the cell wall in particular, prevents the cell to resist high osmotic pressure. So that osmotic pressure, which is high osmotic pressure, the osmotic pressure is resisted by the cell wall because it has that capacity to resist the pressure, the increase in pressure, resists it, preventing the cell from bursting. So if this cell wall is not present, the cell will have to burst because there is nothing that resists the tugger created by the fluid inside the cell. So the cell wall is very important for the prokaryotic cells. It is very important, but it is as well located in the eukaryotic cells called the plant cells. So this one is also important to remember. Plant cells also possess this cell wall, but they are eukaryotic cells. Then another important thing we need to know about the cell wall is that this is what at times bacterial infections are treated targeting the cell wall, because drugs like penicillins, so this cell wall, penicillins target the cell wall. Penicillins will target the cell wall. Why is this one important? Because it is important because we need to know if our bacterial cell is gram positive or it is gram negative. So gram positive bacterial cells always have a thick cell wall, and gram negative ones always have a thin cell wall. That is why penicillins will work better on the gram positive than the gram negatives, because they work on the cell membrane and break the cell membrane. So that is it for the regions of the basic regions of the of the prokaryotic cell, the pili and flagellum, the cell envelope, and finally, the cytoplasmic region. Basic to note that the cell envelope is a composition of the capsule, the cell wall, and the cell membrane. So that is it. That is it for the regions of the prokaryotic cell. So next time we are meeting, we'll look at the eukaryotic cell in detail. Eukaryotic cell in detail. So eukaryote in detail, then we'll see the different organelles in the eukaryotic cell, their structure and their functions. Thanks for watching, and consider subscribing to my channel, please. So we meet next time.